Hello, it is May 6th, 2023. Welcome to Knitting on the Float's Lofty May Vlogs. My name is Tracy and I am the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. I have just popped outside to say good morning and to take a look to see what's happening on the mud flats, and it's actually pretty quiet. I've also just realized it is not morning right now. It is well into the afternoon. Last night I stayed up. I didn't even bother going to bed until 5:30 in the morning. I watched the coronation. It started at 1 a.m. Vancouver time, and at 5:30 I was starting to get those heavy eyelids, and it was just finishing at that point, or at least the procession back to Buckingham Palace was finishing. So I went into bed, slept till just before 11, got up, did something I don't normally do, had a cup of coffee, and I have no idea what I'm going to do in the loft today. I think it's going to be a very small thing. But let's take a quick look at what's happening on the mud flats. As I mentioned, it's very quiet out here. I think there's one duck that I've seen, but we'll take a quick peek, get some nature in. It is definitely very quiet on the mud flats. There is one mallard duck. His partner is probably somewhere in the grasses with either a nest or some little ducklings. I have seen a couple of little duckling families, but most of the time it's the goslings that we see. The ducks hide really well. It is a very gray day. Just across the river, you might be able to see, I believe that's an eagle that is flying across the river. It's very large. And otherwise it is quiet. The tide is going out and the freshet is happening right now, which means that the tides are a little bit faster. We are in a lower tide, as you can see, lots of mud on the mud flats. I'm going to have to get you out here when the tide has been high, because it has been quite high, but right now during the day it's the lows. Anyway, we're going to go inside, figure out what we're going to do in the loft today, and then have a little bit of nitty chat and a cup of tea. But just a quick look at the river right now. I'm kind of stuck as to where I want to start today, what exactly I want to work on. If I were in the UK, I could say it's a bank holiday weekend. I don't have to do anything, but I want to do at least a little thing each day. So today I was up into the wee hours, so I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm not wanting to do too much. I'm thinking maybe putting these books here and maybe straightening off the desk, but that means just putting stuff in the cupboard with the sewing notions, fabrics, things like that. If I keep doing that, we're going to have a clean out day of that cupboard too. So I think we'll just do a little bit of basic straightening today, and nothing too focused, but at least it's something. This little tie toy here is called Tracy, and it's spelled correctly, or at least the way that this Tracy spells her name. I have a little basket of toys that I have for when sometimes our next door neighbor's daughter will come over, and I just put little things in there. So this will go in there. Every once in a while I do either beads on knitting. Sometimes I've done cross stitch beads, so into the sewing cupboard. These go, there's not going to be much room left in the linen closet where I keep my sewing things. I have actually pulled this out of the sewing cupboard. These are my threads. Some of them, they are looking very, very messy right now. And it's an old spice cabinet that used to be in my kitchen growing up. So my mom gave it to me. It's a great little place. It's got a couple drawers. So I think I'm gonna put this just for now behind the computer, and I'm going to straighten out the threads. In this old spice cabinet in the drawers had been these TTC tickets from long, long ago. And these are child ones. And then I've got a bobbin and another bobbin. So I'll keep these and I'll just put these in the drawer because these are just fun little things to find every once in a while when you open a little drawer. Kind of like that penny yesterday. Got a little tin with pins. I will put that by the sewing machine. A little bit of garbage. Pop that in my pocket to go downstairs into the garbage. Do you know about this on Gutermann threads? You can pull off this little end right there, and you can pop needles inside. So if you've got a little hand sewing project and you've got one of these Gutermann threads, just pop your needles in and it is good to go. A fun little trick if you didn't know about that. Same with the big ones too. I have straightened all of my threads right there, kind of rainbowy. And this has some little D hooks on the back. This had been hanging in my craft room at the old house, so I would like to secure it somehow to the wall, but for now I think I'm just going to pop it in the window. And I've got pins and things in the drawer. I shared with you the fun tickets. And I can maybe put a bit of tailor's chalk or something like that also in the other drawer. But looking a lot neater than it was. I found this pretty button and I'm going to put it in my button jar, and the button jar or button container can go in the sewing area. Thankfully, before we moved, I did give this drawer a really good cleaning out. If you've been with me for a while, you will have seen this ball of yarn. I bought this in New Zealand and I just can't part with it. It's kept in this drawer. It makes me happy. I also have these fun puzzles, and I got these so long ago. And what you do is you put them together and you can make a cube, and then once you're done you can put them in here and put the puzzle together. There should be 6. There is a blue one. I'm not sure where it is. I will find it, and you know what? This is a safe place. And here yesterday I shared with you my whistle. That also stays in there. And then I have my lovely stapler, which can go in the drawer. I'm going to try and find that blue puzzle piece, pop it in there, and at least that's one less place to have to clean. I have some lovely hooks that I brought with me from Toronto, and I've got some computer parts, so I'm going to need to figure out where to put these for now as we're doing this rearranging. And I have this lovely apple for putting pencils in, so that definitely needs to stay by the desk. Rainmakers are always calming. I think I will put these by the chairs. I definitely need to go through these. I think what I will do is pop it on the side of my desk so that when I'm moving the desk and going through my books, these will be there. Well, it was a little bit of straightening. The desk area looks great, and the threads are behind it. I'll just take you over there to take a closer look. The Lazy Susan still needs to be done, but the desk is looking clearer. And you take a quick peek in the window. There's the sign we put there yesterday, and the threads for when we move the sewing table over this way. But for now, this makes it a little bit easier to move things around, just popping a couple things off the desk rather than all the clutter. Yesterday I was into the yarn bins. I was looking for some other options for the brioche, although I'm going to stick with what I have. So I was going through this big stack of bins, straighten them out a little bit. Not much, but at some point we will get to these. But for today, I think this is a good amount here. I used to love to do these, and I bought these from a store called Science City in the 90s. So I've had them a very long time. You take the puzzle pieces out and then you put them together. That won't work because it just won't. Now it might. And you just have to try and put the puzzle pieces together, hoping that at some point you've got them in the right place. And sometimes you'll get to a point where you know that it's not going to work, so then you just move things around. That's the great thing about puzzles. Always a fun little diversion, keeps your brain active. And then once you get this done and into the cube, which obviously I can't seem to do, not that I can't, I'm just not taking the full amount of time that I need to, then you have to put it back in here. And I better do that because I am trying to keep this space up here clean, and loose puzzle pieces, never a good thing. It is finally time to sit down, enjoy a nice beverage, share a little bit of knitting. We have been outside, although there really wasn't much to see outside today. It's very quiet out there. It's been very quiet all around. I didn't feel like doing much straightening today, but you know, just those little tiny bits, you know, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, really make a difference, and I am feeling quite proud of what I accomplished. So the desk is now cleared off. It's looking great, and it feels really good when I go up there now. It's a lot less mental strain. Today, let's see, where is it? Here it is. I am drinking Marks & Spencer extra strong tea. As I said, it was a very late night, and my tea is very, very hot. Steam is coming off it. This is another Rendale mug. This one is called Wild at Heart. There is a doe on this side, and I don't know if you can quite see it. There is a fawn just inside. I don't want to tip it too much or we will have spilt tea, and that is not a good thing. And carefully turning this hot mug around. There is a stag there. Today, I really didn't feel like doing it. I didn't feel like cleaning, but I did. And now I feel so much better. So let us cheer to sometimes doing the things we don't want to do, but taking it on and just getting to it. Cheers to that. The one good thing about staying up till 5:30 in the morning is you can get quite a bit of knitting done. And yesterday I worked on two things. I worked on a swatch, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, and I worked on the project, which has been living in this gorgeous bird leg bags. And I am happy to say that last night I wound up my dark Aquarius, and it is now snipped off. These two were knit into my secret test knit, and I am now through the age of Aquarius. And I'll be knitting with this one for a little bit, although I'm getting low, so thankfully I have another skein of this beautiful Nora George Yarns Afterglow. And my goodness, the colors in this yarn with my minis are just really popping, and it's looking spectacular. The next mini that I will be winding up is Dark Orion, but not quite yet. I've got to work a little bit with Afterglow. But oh, loving this project, and it is a really fantastic one for TV knitting, so it worked very well last night. I didn't have too much thinking to do and just enjoyed watching the coronation and getting some work done. The next project that I got a little bit of work done on, and this was before late night knitting, I did a swatch. So my plan is to knit the Chou Sui Shrug by Suzanne Sommer, and I was trying to figure out which way I wanted to do the brioche. And the yarns that I'm using, I am using this gorgeous Hedgerow Yarns Glacier. This is a silky singles, so superwash merino and silk, and it's a single ply. And this one here is Nora George Yarns Super Sock Pink Grapefruit. And then I will be doing the I-cord edging in this fun bluey green, and this one is a one-of-a-kind colorway and Midas with bronze stellina. So a little bit of a sparkle for that edging. So these are my colors, and yesterday I wound up 2 balls. Thankfully, I do have extras of Glacier and extras of Pink Grapefruit if needed. I don't think I'm going to need it. I'm going to knit the size 3 of the Shui Shrug. So I should be okay for yarn, but if I'm not, I do have more. So yesterday I cast on a little swatch. My edges are terrible. And I did a little bit of brioche knitting, and I really love doing brioche. It's one of those things that if you've done something in brioche before, and I've done a couple of projects in brioche, it comes back really easily. It's like got that muscle memory. This is the pink as the main color. And this one is the glacier as the main color. And I'm really, really glad that I did swatch and block it. It is dry, because I have a much better idea of how it is going to look once it is all sort of put together. I have just grabbed something to put the swatch on so you can hopefully get a better idea of the two colors. So this here is with the pink grapefruit as the main knit side. And this was what I used as my main color, was this. So this was my right side of the work. And then on the wrong side, we have the highlighted glacier going as the knit rose. So I am very much thinking that I like how the white glacier with the little pops of blue, green, purple, pink pop out, as compared to it popping out on the sides of the pink grapefruit knit columns. So I think I am going to use glacier as my main color, and then the pink grapefruit as my contrast color. So this will be the front, the back, and then there will be that gorgeous pop of this blue along the border. So that is what I decided, and I just now need to cast on the Shui Shrug in that colorway with the glacier as the main color, and I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And it was really nice working with the two different textures of yarn. One is a singles and the other one is a 4-ply, and there's also a little bit of sheen to the glacier as well. So I think it'll look really, really nice once it's all done. And I am very, very glad that I did swatch. And I had a little bit of doubt that had been put in my mind when Sharon showed hers, and she said she wished she had done her colors differently. And then when I said I wanted the pink in the front, she said, "Are you sure?" And yes, I'm very, very glad I swatched. So Sharon, thank you for putting those doubts in my mind, because I am now no longer doubtful that this is the combination I should go for. That is the vlog for Saturday, May 6th. I am going to take it easy for the rest of the day. I am going to hopefully cast this on with the main color being glacier. I'm going to enjoy a little bit more tea, and tonight I need to go to bed really, really early, because I'm feeling a little bit wrecked from staying up all night. But sometimes for these historic events, you gotta do these things. And again, cheers. I have one more thing that I'm wanting to share with you. Today, my mom sent me a photograph of the magnolia in her backyard. So Magnolia Watch 2023, I'm not there, but here is a gorgeous picture of the magnolia tree in its glory. you know that I can't not do it. So, of course, I had to sit for a few moments, get this done. These puzzles are called snafus puzzles, and there are 6 different colors. Each of the puzzles is different, and you can actually put them all together to create this mega interesting cube shape thing. And they're all different difficulty levels as well. I'm not sure which one the blue is, but there we go. Now I just need to do this back into that. And I'm going to turn you around really quickly so you can see what's going down the river right now. This is my current view from the loft.